I just want to thank everyone for coming out to this grand opening here of our campaign office. It's a beautiful day. We have a lot of things, a lot of activities going on today. We have signs going out, we've got volunteers knocking on doors, we've got phone calls being made, signs everywhere, a sign. We've got fundraising still continuing on. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. Thank you for your cooperation with Michael. I know we had a few bumps in getting ourselves a place, but funny enough, standing here a few years ago in this exact place with Costa Menegakis, and he says the place has improved since he's left. So, Frank, so hopefully that Costa can have this next year. This will be our spot, and there'll be another victory coming out of here as well. So, just in case some of you that don't know who I am, my name is Cliff McDowell. I'm the president for the Riding Association here. I've had the privilege of serving for the last year and a bit for Michael Parsa, and I've been now adopted into the family. Now my last name was McDowell, now it's Mick Parsa. Messy. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to, we got a couple of guests here that'll be speaking in a short bit. We have a member of Parliament, Bob Soroya here. Thank you so much. We have a former member of Parliament, Costa Menegakis here. Really need an introduction. I don't have to go into his resume or anything else like that. We have our good friend Frank Please here. Yeah. So after we're finished with the few speakers here, we've got this lovely cake here that we're going to have. After that, we're going to have some pictures taken with Michael. And then immediately after that, we're going out knocking on doors. We're not taking anything for granted. I know that we're getting amazing poll results, but the last poll is at 9 p.m., right? That's the last poll. We're running like we're 5 points behind, not 5 points ahead. Actually, it's more than 30, but who's counting? But we're not talking about that right now. So we're going to continue running like we're 5 points behind all the way through. And also, and before I don't want to forget to mention, of course, my good friend Derek Murray that's here with us. Derek's job is to keep us all in line here, of course. And I also want to mention that we have an amazing team. I don't want to go through all the team members, but I do want to make a special mention for my good friend George Hapshi, our campaign manager. Thank you, George. I don't want to go on any longer because this cake looks really good, so I just want to get through everyone really quick, get us out, and get us going. So I'd just like to hand the mic over to Member of Parliament, Bob Soroya.
Thank you, Cliff. First of all, thank you for Costa Menegakis and our former MPP and Mr. York Region, if I can say it, for the number of years we worked together. But we are here for one reason only, for Mike Parsa. Mike and I go over 20 years back. Mike is one of my favorite friend, my brother, whatever you want to call him. If you ask Mike to do something, one thing I know, you don't have to follow up, it's done. You don't need to make a phone call. Mike will call you back. This is the kind of people we need in the Doug Ford's cabinet, the people sitting with the Doug Ford who can make the difference for the future. And if you're looking around here, first of all, thank you, Valerie, lending Mike Parsa to us to make looking around is almost a guaranteed win, but we will now take the guaranteed win as a guaranteed, but we still have to door knock, raise some money, and do what we need to do. Mike and I worked together in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2011, 2015. I can go on and on. And my neighbor, my friend, fellow small business owner, his resume is this long. One of the other reasons, I don't want to take too much time, you have to do some door knocking, so the stuff. A couple of things. I was in last 10 days, I was at 2 different airports. One, about 10 days ago, 12 days ago, I was stuck in Vancouver airport. I met the former CEO of the Coca-Cola. Then I met last Friday, we sat 4 hours in the plane, the flight didn't leave in Ottawa to come to Toronto. Both CEO said one thing: the Liberals, the brand Liberals, either they're in Ontario, they're in Ottawa, they have no respect. This is how they put it. The both Liberals, $300 billion, I understand, is owed by provincial government. The highest debt per capita in North America. On the federal side, we owe $1 trillion and growing by a second. They have no respect for their dollars, they have no respect. If I can talk about the different ways, in Ontario alone, the high bracket is 53% tax paying, right? We are also borrowing another $12 billion or so each year. Let's say if Costas doesn't want to borrow any more loan, he's saying, I'm going to work hard or I'm going to pay whatever. The highest tax would be about 62%. Imagine you get up in the morning, leave your kids behind, you go to work. My silent partner said, first 62 cents is mine. How does this work? But Mike, I'm here for you any given time, day or night. We will make this happen, and please help this campaign in any which way you can. Door knocking, phone calls, talking to the... Thank you. Or talking to anybody and everybody, and that's my Parsa, the future MPP. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Bob. We really appreciate that. And it is important, the volunteers, without the volunteers, we don't have anything. And it's about a community, and it's a team effort, and we work together. It's not just one person, it's all of us, and that's what we have to come together and support our candidate, Michael Parsa. I'd like to now ask a good friend of mine for the last number of years, and worked with him on the last campaign, and we'll be working with him next year. And he is well known in the community, and he's been giving great support in this community. My good friend, Costa Menegakis.
Well, good morning, everyone. What an exciting day to be in this room full of Parsas and McParsas. It's absolutely fantastic to feel the energy in this room, to feel the energy in the community. This is a winning campaign. We are going to June 7th. And on June 7th, when the results come in, Aurora, Oak Ridge is Richmond Hill, and all of Ontario will rejoice, because for the first time in 15 some odd years, we're going to turf those Liberals right out of here and bring some stability back to our great province. We have a candidate in this riding, Michael Parsa, who started getting involved in the political process in 1993. No, he wasn't 3 years old, but... And he's so good looking, I told him, leave the picture on the door, I may need it next year for my campaign. I told Frank he could put his picture on the other door. That gives me a step ahead. But Michael is an individual who has worked hard for the people of Richmond Hill and has really reached out so much to the wonderful town of Aurora. He is a person who is a grassroots individual. He has worked, he has volunteered, He has donated both time and money. He has worked tirelessly behind the scenes, and now he has put his name on the ballot here to run provincially in this election. I am delighted that he is our candidate, but I can tell you this, he will be an outstanding member of our provincial parliament starting June 7th. Michael will be a tireless representative for the good people of Aurora and Richmond Hill. When he puts his mind on something, he goes for it. And nobody cares more about the community than Michael Parsa. He has shown this repeatedly over and over the years, giving so much of himself to so many good causes. His name may not have been up front, but he was the guy running the stuff in the background, making sure that we were successful in every effort possible in our community. I want to wish him the very best of luck on June the 7th, but to get there and to have our victory, we need all of you. We need all of you to tell your friends, to tell your neighbors. We need all of you to somehow find it in your hearts to part a little bit with some of your hard-earned money, because campaigns need money. We need you to door knock. We need to keep this energy and this momentum going. Everybody I talk to in this riding, everybody I talk to is very excited about this campaign and very excited about what's going to happen on June 7th with Premier Doug Ford, MPP, and hopefully Minister Michael Parsa. So on behalf of all of us in the Conservative family in this riding of Aurora, Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill, and this outstanding team, I can't mention everybody, but I would be remiss certainly if I didn't mention Chairman and my good friend, Mr. Murray, Mr. President we call him, Derek's such a great friend, and Cliff McDowell, and the Parsa family, Mr. and Mrs. Parsa, outstanding people, the Parsa family, the sisters that are here, the brother Matt who's here, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, June 7th, we're all going to be there to celebrate Michael Parsa. First MPP. Thank you.
I want that brand of coffee. I want that. Thank you, Mr. Menegakis. If that didn't charge you one thing I wanted to say too is that there are three attributes, three things that you have to have running. Number one is you have to have integrity. The second thing you need to have is intelligence. And the third thing you need to have is passion. Without these three things, you will not succeed. And I'm so happy to say that Michael Parsa definitely is the person that has all three of them. If you don't have integrity, you can have the intelligence and the passion, but without the integrity, you have nothing at all, right? And to say that, I want to introduce our next guest. And he has all three of these. We've seen that time and time for the last few decades. We've seen that with our good friend, Frank Cleese.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cliff. Hello, everyone. This is like a coming home for me. This is a great riding, and I know the people in this room are going to return it to where it should be, and that is in the fold of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party with Michael Parsa as the leader. Of the riding, not the party. Because we have a leader of the party, and I'll tell you, I just want to take 1 minute to talk about our leader, Doug Ford. When I heard that Doug Ford was putting himself forward as leader, I immediately picked up the phone and said, I'm with you. And there are a lot of people in this room who will know because I spoke with you as well. And the reason, I just want to share with you why I had no hesitation in supporting Doug Ford as the leader of our party. I know Doug for more than 20 years. I know this man to be a man of principle and courage. And given the state of our province, and given the state that our party was in, I knew that we needed someone with courage and with principles and values that would take us to the top as a party, and as a province. And Doug is out there now, and he's distributing and giving people hope. Because when you talk to Doug, he doesn't talk up here. He speaks with you. And he does understand people, and he understands businesses. And he understands what it takes to create jobs, because he himself is a business person. And he knows what it's like to reach out to people. He knows what it's like to have people in family who have challenges, and social challenges, and medical challenges. And he was a man who always stood with his family. He's a man who stands with his community. And so as he's going across the province talking about the need to return accountability and transparency and passion to our province and to government, I can tell you that it's resonating. It doesn't matter if it's Northern Ontario or Southwestern Ontario, Doug is making an impact. And that's why there's hope for our great province. I'm here because I'm a terrific fan of Michael Parsa.
Yes!
Michael is the guy who can take that same message along with your help right across this riding. Michael's parents, I know, are going to be proud when he's in the legislature getting sworn in as the next member of provincial parliament for this riding. And his dear wife is going to stand there, and she will be so proud of her husband, who is the next MPP of this riding. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to say to Michael, he can't do it on his own. He can't do it without his family, and he can't do it without you. And you know, the reason that I had the privilege of opening up 5 campaign offices in 5 elections in this region and winning every one of them had very little to do with me. It had everything to do with the people behind me. And as I look around this room, many of you were there. What's encouraging is that many of you were not. Which means that the riding and the party and the organization continues to grow, and we get new people into the fold, and that's what makes it all come together. And so over the next number of weeks, and it's not many, here's what we need to do. I will do what I can. You are the message bearers in this riding. You're the ones who are going to be representing Michael. He can only reach out to so many people. But it's up to you to get the message out, to get those lawn signs out, to bring in the money so that the deal can actually be closed on June the 7th. And if we in this room all do our part, guess what? June 7th, when the numbers come in, you think there's excitement here now? We're going to get Costas Menengakis in on June the 7th to give us another inspiration to have and to raise the roof. And I'll tell you, and you know, Costas went on and on with his speech, and Bob, it's great to have you here. And you know, when I was elected, I used to give long speeches too. Now that I'm retired from politics, I keep it short. I now have the privilege of introducing the next MPP for this riding. Where are you, Michael?
Good morning. It's still good morning. I've always said it, it's so easy to follow Frank Leeds right after. The man is so eloquent, so well spoken. Thank you very much, Frank, for making my job so hard right now. Folks, I want to welcome you first for being here. I know so many of you. It's so nice to see, as Frank said, so many old faces, so many new faces. Thank you very much for coming. I want to start off by thanking my good friend, old friend, member of Parliament, Bob Soraya from Markham Union, who was our bright light in York region in the 2015 federal election. And hopefully, we'll send him a few more colleagues after 2019. Thank you for everything, Bob. He's got a very busy schedule. The one person who wasn't acknowledged, and I just want to acknowledge him, is our regional organizer, Peter Seaman, on behalf of the parties. Thank you very much, my good friend, for supporting us. I see my campaign chairs, co-chairs. Dr. Rod is here. Mr. Derek Murray is here. Where's my campaign manager? George Hatchie is here. Dr. Moore, our son, is doing an amazing job with our sign crew. Thank you, Doctor, for all of you for being here. Who else am I missing here? I know my family, my mom, my dad, my brother and sister. I know my wife, Valerie. Thank you so much. Without whom I could not do any of this. And of course, the best riding association president in the province, of course, Cliff McDowell or Cliff McParsa is here. And of course, my good friend from a very long time ago, Costa Menegakis, former member of Parliament from Richmond Hill, future member of Parliament, again, for Aurora, Oak Ridges, Richmond Hill. And I see a friend of mine who's never ended supporting me, Mr. Ahmed Tabrizi. Thank you very much for coming here. As always, for your support. Dr. Asafir, thank you very much for coming here. Mrs. Ahmedi, always having my back. Thank you very much, all of you guys. I apologize, I'm not going to single anybody out anymore because I'm going to have to be here all day, so my apologies for that. I want to say a few words and then I'll leave you guys because I know you've heard a lot of great speeches already. But here's what, I see the excitement in the room now, and I see the excitement at the doors. And I see it all across this, not only this riding, but across the province. A lot of it has to do, as Frank said, because of not just our base, but at great leadership at the party now, thanks to Doug Ford. It's very important to know that he's been leader just under 2 months. He came in under very difficult times. He took the party, and now it looks like we went through no issues. Everybody's united, everyone's focused, and we are all going out every single day to make sure that we give Ontarians a better choice after June 7th. So a big credit to our leader, Doug Ford. Having said that, I know these are exciting times, these are good times, it's great to be a progressive conservative these days. However, I just have to point out to you guys, it wasn't like this a long time ago. I mention that to you because I want us to remain humble. I want us to work hard every single day and not to take anything for granted. I have to share with you a small story, and the reason I mention that to you is because we went through some difficult elections. We lost election after election because we simply didn't listen to the people. We lost and we were surrounded, and I can tell you as an activist for the party, both at the federal level and the provincial level, we were always surrounded by elected officials from the other parties, and we had very little representation. I was at that time the president of the Federal Riding Association in Richmond Hill, and it was very difficult for us to get traction because we didn't have any representatives. Bob wasn't elected, Costas wasn't elected. But we had one shining light always around here that we always depended on. That person never let us down. That person, when you talked about integrity, when you talk about principle, this person had it. This person carried this region on his shoulder, election after election, year after year, even though we didn't have any other conservative members of parliament or members of provincial parliament, and that was none other than the Honourable Frank Cleese, guys. We are where we are in this area because of his hard work, because of his dedication to the people, and I still hear it at the doors. I still hear, Michael, you may be a hardworking candidate. A, you don't have Frank's hair. And you definitely don't have his looks. So now I know why he kept getting elected and re-elected every single time. So thank you for being Frank. The reason, and my campaign team will tell you that, when we were organizing this, I said the person that I want to have this campaign office opening done for me would be Frank Cleese. Because you've been a mentor to some of us young people who came up in the party. We looked up to you. We looked at the way you represented the people. He constantly talked about being there for the people. He was never one of those guys who talked about partisan politics. He constantly talked about representing the people. And I'm honored to call you my mentor, my friend. Thank you so much. Now, many of my volunteers, I know that a lot of them are here. You have to forgive me. I'm going to mention a few names. I want to know where Denise, where Melanie, where Sevda, where James, where Cheyenne, where are my young volunteers? There they are. My superstars who are 14, 15, and 16 years old. Yes, please give me a hand. They go out with me almost every single day. And when we knock on doors, we're hearing these messages. These are what we're hearing from the people. This is directly from the residents of Richmond Hill. Whether they're traditional Liberal supporters, whether they're new Canadians voting for the first time, and whether they're supporters of our party, all of them are unhappy and all of them are looking for change. The reason they're looking for change is because we now have a government that has been in power for 15 years, and quite frankly, as the leader posed to the Premier in one of the debates said, she lost her ways. She lost her ways because they have forgotten what public representation is all about. They forgot that when you go into office, it's about representing the people and not your friends and your insiders and filling their pockets. And that's what we're doing. Folks, we have a crumbling healthcare system. I know there's so many doctors here, many nurses here. That's what we're hearing at the door. Nurses are unhappy, doctors are unhappy, entrepreneurs are unhappy, small businesses are unhappy. We have skyrocketing hydro prices out of control. And in return, instead of fixing the problem, our Premier and her cabinet rewards the CEO of Hydro One by giving a massive bonus in a sum of $6.2 million last year. Think about it. While people who are seniors, while middle income class is, you know that's my wife, so. While they are having to choose between heating their home or eating or putting food on the table, this Premier has not done anything about the average citizen, and that's what we're going to change. We are making a promise to the people that we're going to listen to you. I'm making a pledge to you right now that I will listen to you, every single one of you, and we are going to turn this province around. I promise you. Yes. We have an economy. I know there's a lot of business people here in the crowd, so I'll mention this to you. This will resonate with every single one of you, and you'll understand why somebody like me would put their name forward. Ontario is now so badly indebted. In fact, we are the most indebted sub-sovereign province, are we not? In the entire world, we have a bigger debt than the state of California. Mind-boggling. You think about that. If you compare the population of California to Ontario, and for us to have a higher debt than them, it's just mind-boggling. But what do? What does this government do? They continue to spend. They continue to spend. They continue to spend money we simply don't have. When I talk about the youth of our party, when I mentioned to you already, I look at them every single day, and to be honest, on behalf of this government, I'd be embarrassed of them, because these are the people who are going to have to bear the responsibility and the recklessness of this current government, and we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to stop that in just over 3 weeks. We are now paying $1 billion in interest every single month. Think about that. Imagine if you had that money, $12 billion to invest in healthcare, in infrastructure, in education. Think about the state of our province at that time. That's when we talk about a government that has lost its way. These are the issues that we're talking about at the doors. These are what people are bringing to us. So I will work, and I think, what are we looking at, 34 days now, 33 days now left in the campaign? Less than that?
27.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
27.
No, it's not. It's 33 days because we have to work every single day as though there's still more time left, guys. I know that some of you, and I know some of my volunteers, I know it's good times. I know you're looking at the polls, but trust me on this. the polls currently don't mean anything. These polls are great to motivate us. It's great for us to be out there. It's the people are giving us a chance, but we need to earn their vote. You need to work hard with me every single day. Let us go to the doors. Let us talk to the people. Deliver Doug Ford's positive message, and let's earn this victory. Let's not take anything for granted, because in just over 3 weeks from now, we are looking at hopefully, a majority Doug Ford government to bring positive change. Once again, on behalf of my campaign, and all the volunteers, my family, our riding president, my chairs, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for believing in me. I make a promise to you today that I will do everything I can to always make you proud of me. I will do my very best so that when this election is over, win or lose, and hopefully we will win, you will hold your head up saying you were a part of this team. Thank you very much, Bonnie, for being here. Thank you very much, Parsa. Thank you very much, Frank. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now let's get some knocking on doors and get some votes, and thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
1, 2, 3. What's the count? June 7th. Everyone, please back in for cake and food now. Thank you so much.
Great job.
The friends of Denise.
Everybody will have to wear blue. Mandatory. Free pass for everybody. Free.
Yes.